Next up at UFC 285, we have the most interesting main event that we have had in years. We have Jon Jones going up to heavyweight after a 3-year layoff to take on Ciryl Gane. Jon Jones, I think the greatest of all time. I don't think there's really much of a debate there.
I agree.
I don't know who else would be if it's not Jon Jones. He's 26-1. That one is bullshit. He was beating the absolute piss out of Matt Hamill. Matt Hamill's turning. Some of the elbows hit the back of his head. Referee goes, oh, whoa.
I thought they were just because they were 12-6.
It could have been.
I literally think it wasn't even back to that. I think it was just because they were 12-6 elbows.
Yeah.
Which is even worse.
It was an absolute mauling that shouldn't have been a loss. He has defended his belt. 14 times. Nobody will ever come close to that number ever again. He was the youngest UFC champion of all time, and that remains a record. So Jon Jones is literally the greatest fighter we have ever seen in our generation. Period. He's got some troubles outside the cage, but this isn't about that. He's a JUCO National Wrestling Champion, which JUCO means junior college. Typically, you go to junior college if you don't get the ride you thought you were going to get at a big school, or maybe your grades aren't good enough to go to a big school. He was a JUCO National Champion wrestler and then out-wrestled Daniel Cormier in those matchups. He's out-striking strikers in their matchups. Jon Jones can do anything. He can do it well. The problem, he's 3 years removed from his last fight, going up in weight, and in his last fight, he looked like shit. But we'll talk about that in a second. He's fighting Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane's an incredibly technical striker. He's got high volume. He's a well-rounded guy. He's got incredible kicks. He can grapple, but he's not going to offensively grapple in this fight. He has an impressive 5-2 striking differential, and it just speaks to how good his footwork is. His movements at the heavyweight division are absolutely incredible. He was out-wrestled by Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou just started taking him down. Francis Ngannou is not a wrestler. And I know that's what everybody's saying, right? If Francis Ngannou was able to take Ciryl Gane down, then Jon Jones is going to do whatever he wants. I don't disagree with that logic. That is correct logic. I would just caveat a little bit. I think Ciryl Gane was taken down by Francis Ngannou because I think he was just so caught off guard. It wasn't even a thought in their mind in any world that Francis is going to be shooting takedowns. I think it completely threw him for a loop. Where now, him and his coach are literally saying, we know for a fact Jon Jones' plan A is going to be wrestling. And you're going to say, oh, he out-wrestled Daniel Cormier, this, that, the other thing. Watch Jon Jones try to wrestle Dominic Reyes. Like shooting flat on his face. He just absolutely struggled. 7 takedowns stuffed by Dominic Reyes in a fight that every single one of you who are, and I'm pointing to the chat like this, every single one of you who were insisting 3 years ago, Jon Jones lost that fight, Jon Jones lost that fight, Jon Jones lost that fight. You're now all saying it's a murdering Jon Jones is going to dominate. Dominic Reyes has been knocked out 3 times, lost 4 fights in a row, doesn't belong in the UFC, absolute looks like trash, gave Jon Jones the run of his life. Jon Jones beat Thiago Santos before that. Thiago Santos had 2 blown knees, and that was a close fight as well. I love Jon Jones. I want Jon Jones to win. Somebody earlier today was saying I'm a Jon Jones hater. I literally went on this whole thing. He's the greatest fighter to ever do it. I want him to win because I want the UFC to have the greatest heavyweight in the world. And if Jon Jones wins, that's what he is. All that being said, I think I have to pick Ciryl Gane here because of the layoff, because of the unknowns, because how shitty Jon Jones looked in his last fight. With all that being said, I have no money here. I am not betting on this fight. I am just going to watch. I'm just going to enjoy, and I'm going to appreciate that this is one of the best main events we're ever going to see. So no money here, but Jon Jones could absolutely get the takedowns and Matt Hamill elbow for the finish. That's a real possibility. It's also possible he looks like he's 47, even though he's only 35 because of the layoff and all the other factors. That was a very long rant. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, let me just double down on the fact that I also think that Jon Jones is the GOAT. So what I'm about to say has no effect on the fact that I think Jon Jones is the GOAT. But, as Angelo mentioned, and one of the things that I was saying all week this week and even last week on watching film and stuff is if you just looked at these guys as Fighter A and Fighter B, you didn't have the names, you didn't know who they were, you just saw Fighter A, Fighter B, you're watching their last fights just as silhouettes. You don't know who it's against. You just know you're watching this fighter as a silhouette. You're watching Gane as a silhouette, and you're watching their recent fights, and you're watching how they fight. And you took Fighter A, Jon Jones, and Fighter B. You would put Fighter B as a minus 200 favorite from the way that they have been fighting their recent fights. Jon Jones, I know that he's been winning those fights, and champions, they find a way to win. He grits it out. He does have the pressure, and he breaks people down, and that's how Jon Jones has been winning recently. But he was a split decision against Thiago, and then arguably lost his last fight. He didn't look good. There was no wow, that's Jon Jones moments in those fights. He didn't look like Jon Jones. He didn't look like that aggressive guy, and people are going to say oh, it's because he wasn't motivated, and it's all the whole oh, Jon Jones is motivated now. You don't know if he's motivated until he gets in there. Yeah, he can talk all the talk. Nobody talks talk more than Jon Jones. I'm a new guy now. I'm not going to fuck up, and then he fucks up. Nobody is better at just saying stuff than Jon Jones inside and outside of the octagon. Now, with that said, I agree. If he can get the takedowns, he can dominate this fight. I don't think he can get the takedowns. People are going to say Francis Ngannou took him down, as Angelo mentioned. Angelo made a good point. I don't think he was expecting the takedowns. And Francis Ngannou can just knock this dude out. Ciryl Gane has to be terrified at all moments. Every second of that fight is don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out. When's the shot coming? When's the shot coming? So when you shoot a takedown, those people have the best advantage of shooting takedowns because you're so worried about the knockout that you can change levels and they have the high guard. Ciryl Gane can be much more athletic in his stance, in his hand placement, in his footwork against a guy like Jon Jones because Jon Jones isn't as dangerous as Ngannou is on the feet. So Ciryl Gane can be a little bit more ready for those takedowns when they come. I am going to go all the way to the extreme that on the feet, Ciryl Gane is going to embarrass Jon Jones. He's going to look slow. The footwork, Ciryl Gane's going to stick a move, dance on the outside, do what Ciryl Gane does best. Jon Jones is probably going to be moving forward. He's probably going to have the pressure. He might land a few strikes, but he's not a super dangerous guy on the feet. He looked like shit in the striking in his last few fights. I don't think that adding 40 pounds is going to make him look any faster. If you took 205 Jon Jones against Dominic Cruz and put him against Ciryl Gane, even with that speed, he gets pieced up by Ciryl Gane. Now you're adding 40 pounds to it. I think Ciryl Gane embarrasses him on the feet, forces the takedowns, and if he can't get the takedowns, this could be a long night for Jon Jones. And I'm not trying to be that disrespectful. That's just, I'm looking at recent fights. You add 40 pounds, you add the layoff, the athleticism, the footwork, the quickness, the way that Ciryl Gane fights is just a perfect recipe against the striking of Jon Jones. As you mentioned, if he gets the takedowns, obviously he can win this fight. I don't think he can.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not as confident as you are in Ciryl, right? I'm going the Ciryl side because of the layoff and all of those things. I think Jon Jones could come out here and look like he should have been a minus 500 favorite, and we'll all be like, yeah, no shit. No shit. We spent the whole week saying he's the greatest fighter to ever do it, and then picked against him in a dude that we watched get taken down 5 times. That may very well be my Sunday morning recap. We do the recap video. That might be my Sunday morning recap video. Being like, what an idiot. I cannot believe. That's also why I'm not betting on this fight. I frankly don't think there is a reason to really bet on this fight. I get it. A lot of you were very, very happy when Jon Jones opened as an underdog and you hit it. And if you got Jon Jones as an underdog, just bet Ciryl Gane as well and you have yourself an arbitrage bet. Take the free money and just watch this fight because we need to respect this main event. This is one of the most exciting main events we have had in a very long time. So many questions, so many factors, so many variables, a long layoff, the best to ever do it. But 3 years, he's older, he's going up in weight. There's so much going on here. I am so excited for this fight. I'm not even going to bother spending money on it. Why? So I could put another $3 in my pocket? Forget it. I'm not betting on this fight. I'm just going to watch it. I'm just going to enjoy it. I do think Ciryl gets it done, but I will be yelling. F the pick. I hope the pick's wrong. I'm going to be yelling, screaming, rooting for Jon Jones like absolute crazy.
Not me.
I want Jon Jones to win.
I
recognize Jon Jones is kind of a trash person who beats women. He's a piece of fucking shit. But I want him to win the fight for the sport.
The only thing I will mention is the demeanor of Gane is probably his biggest red flag, right? Because he is a guy that
Too
you see in the
composed.
embeddeds and stuff. He likes to have fun. People talk about, he's mentioned, like, I don't really like Trey. I'm lazy in my training and this and that. And when push comes to shove, if he's on his back against Jon Jones, does he have the dog in him? I mean, I do question in those moments, does he have the dog in him to fight out of those positions? And I don't know if he does. I do like in the Tai Tuivasa fight that he did get dropped, and we saw how he reacted with that. It was all poise, right? He got dropped. He didn't try to get it back. He just kept doing his thing, and actually showed a little bit more aggression in that fight because of it. And maybe that allows him to be more aggressive in this fight, because I think he can be aggressive in the striking and take down those takedown attempts from Jon with aggression in the striking that he had against Tai Tuivasa. But that's the biggest question mark. When I'm playing Gane and push comes to shove and somebody's got to be a dog in this matchup, I know it's going to be Jon Jones, right? If it's who's going to be tougher, who's going to be grittier, and it comes down to a slugfest, that type of fight, it's going to be Jon Jones against Gane 10 out of 10 times. I'm not stupid. I recognize that. I just think Gane basically makes this fight look clean. It's a Gane fight. He dances around, he picks them apart, and he wins that way. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, we're on the same side here. I do think that you probably can't go wrong with some DraftKings plays here. You're going to get $7,800 on the man who opened as a 2-1 favorite, or the greatest of all time at $8,400. I think in DraftKings, pick a side, play your side, because if Jon Jones wins, he's going to score a ton of. Let's put it this way: I think Ciryl Gane wins, but to emphasize your point, Ciryl Gane wins a decision. Jon Jones wins. He's going to stop Ciryl Gane. He'll take him down, he'll elbow him in the face, and he'll stop him. I don't think Jon Jones, if he's getting the takedowns, I don't think it ends in a decision. I think it ends in just elbows.
It's hard to imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely more upside on the Jon Jones side for a finish, but this should be an awesome fight. I'm not betting any money. I'll definitely play some DraftKings, but I'm not going to bet.
I have some money.
I'm not going to bet some money. If you want to see Jacob's money and what he's done with this fight and many, many more, WeWantPicks.com. Become a premium member. It's $10 a month. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. At $10 a month, all the crap, all the value, everything we've put out there for you. $1.99 super chat from Degenerate UFC fan. Will Jacob be too much of a coward to talk to Hebas? It's a question.
Well, it was to you. Do you think I'd be too much of a coward?
I do.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
Like if I literally cross paths with her while I'm walking through the casino or something, no way I'm saying shit. I would probably be wearing this shirt. I'm wearing this shirt, and she'd probably be like, "Oh," and I'd be like, just shit my pants and blow my load at the same time.
Just like from our week in review, the Cartman clip there. Guys, if you haven't seen our week in review videos, they're funny. It's all the funniest things that have happened that week put together with some pretty clever editing. So check that out. Just it's down a few videos. Even if you watched everything last week, it's a funny 10-minute breakdown. Become a premium member. It's $10 a month. And we have added a feature today. Today, we dropped metrics and analytics. What you're seeing here is 38 columns. 38 columns of in-depth statistics. Everything from the fighter's age and reach to their last 5, to the current odds, to the percentage of KO wins, percentage of submission wins. Just a full comprehensive breakdown of every single meaningful statistic for these fighters. And that data is all available to you at the very same $10 that you've already been paying. And then we take this sheet and we divide it up into digestible pieces. Not everybody wants some wild mishmash of colors. We also take it, divide it into chunks. It is on the website. You can sort, you can interact with it, and you can find your spots and use this data to do your own research. WeWantPicks.com is not just about copy my bets and you'll get rich. It's what it's been doing, but that's not what it's also about. We have tools on there that will help you. Why go to 10 websites to get these stats? You can get them all here. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. It is only $10 a month. And if you want $50, WeWantPicks.com/bets. Use our link. Sign up with any one of our affiliate partners using our link. I will send you $50 as a thank you. You click, you sign up, you make a deposit, they pay me, and then I will pay you because we're all in this together, sharing that pie. Any last words for the people? Jakey Boombats.
Lock of the week video probably tomorrow. Looking forward to that because There's been some wild stuff happening with Lock of the Week. If everyone knows about that, we're doing the Q&A Thursday. Not
Yep,
Q&A,
Thursday.
the call-in show. Sorry.
Thursday's the call-in show. It's right now scheduled for 7:30 Central. I do have we have something at my daughter's school at 6. Might be a few minutes late, but if you're a premium member, once we're live, go to your account page on the website, and you can have a link. You could be on camera with us. No genitals, no N-words. Other than that, we're good. You could be on camera with us. Not other than that, but you get what I'm saying.
Well.
Jacob's a little disappointed I said no genitals. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you the rest of this week for fresh content every single day.